I have so much respect for Priya Ramani because she spoke her truth. Can we expect that every woman who's gone through sexual harassment at the workplace, do you think everyone has the tenacity to go through what she did?
I think what's kept me sane and kept my soul intact is the fact that I am not afraid to be weak.
The thing about India, it's also that we are not a country where systems are in place.
Hi everyone, joining us today is the cast of Bombay Begums, and we have the director Alankrita Srivastava with us as well. Thank you so much all for joining us at the Quint.
Thank you for having us.
My first questions for Alankrita. All of these women, they're feisty, they're complex characters. I want to ask you, how did you develop the character and string their stories together? How long did it take you?
It's been a long journey. Like, I think it was 2012 or 13 when I actually thought of this idea, and it was in my head and I was a little bit developing it. It was in 2017 when actually I got producers on board who were interested in doing the show, and that's when I started developing it properly. So it took me a while to sort of write the story. So it's been a long journey, and they've been in my head for a long time. But the advantage of that was that I think it was all very clear to me who these people were, what their journeys was. But I think because I never actually make anything until it's lived with me for many years, I think the world is very clear. So I had lived with lipstick for many years before making it. I had lived with Dolly Kitty for many years before making it. I think that's something that helps me eventually create that world, because I just feel like there's a sense of knowingness, knowing the dynamics of who those people would be. You know what they'll say in a certain situation.
My next one's for Pooja. Bombay Begum's your character, she's almost royal, right? She has that command. She knows what she's doing. What were those tick boxes that you had in mind? Were there any? And please do share with us, because people are seeing you on screen in full glory after long. So were you itchy about what she's going to do, what she's going to say? Or did you have those questions in place?
It was a no-brainer. And I felt that when life is banging on your door, the least you can do is throw that door open and just embrace what stands outside it, I had no preconceived notions beyond the fact that I knew that once I'd said yes, I was going to surrender to my director and not have any ideas about how I should or I shouldn't. I believed that I was in the best hands. And I think that when you are thrown into the room with people who see something in you that perhaps you haven't yourself, the least you can do is just leave your inhibitions and your ideas at the door. And I think that Alankrita set the tone for me, where she kind of did this wonderful series of workshops with all of us women. Alankrita threw us into a room together and got us to really bare our souls. And I think that became such a great trust exercise where, as women, we let the defenses down. There was no posturing. There was kind of bloodletting in that sense where, what kids do in school, where you show your scars and say, see, I got hurt here. See, I got hurt here. And there was no judgment that came from anybody. And, I think that I'm very instinctive as a person in terms of a vibe I get from people. I want to be in a room where I know that I'm loved. And, well, if you love it, there's a whole battery of people who worked to make me shine. So thank you to all of them who are not here today and, who never get acknowledged. It's just gratitude, deep gratitude to be able to be there. And like I again said earlier, and I'm going to repeat, is that I think the reason that Rani is so special and the reason that Bombay Begums is so special is because it's relevant. Great work, original work is one thing, but to be relevant is the most difficult task for anybody in the entertainment business. And I think that I'm privileged to be able to come back with a part that is relevant.
Every character really shines, and even the arc that we see probably in Plavata's character and Amrita's character, it just keeps getting better. But I want to ask all the actors that, when you got the script, what were your questions about your character?
I found Fatima's character very interesting because she's somebody who is not very obviously likable in the way you see her as a boss. I mean, she's very different from me. I'm not somebody who likes talking down to people or being aggressive, and that's who she is in the workspace. But I think all the aspects, whether it is the struggle that she has with the idea of whether she wants to be a mother or not, with ambition, should I allow myself that freedom to dream and be ambitious about my career? the conflict in the marriage, whether being more successful than your husband. So there was so many layers, so many aspects. Her interpersonal equation with all the women, constantly judging others and then realizing that, oh no, there's been a lack of empathy somewhere. There's been a lack of understanding. I mean, it was a huge learning.
When we read a good script, it's wonderful that we forget to read about our own characters and we travel through every character. That's what happened with me when I was reading the whole script for this script for Bombay Begums. When I was reading Lily, when you start thinking about how to own the character, I try my best to make those incidents true for me. What will happen if they happen to me? I had not seen that world at all. She's not inhabited at all. Like, I'm completely come from a different space. So for me, it was very challenging to portray and own that space maybe. And Alankrita helped me immensely in that with improvisations. Some things really came because of Reshma Appa also. Reshma Appa, Alankrita made me meet actual bar dancer who I went to visit her in Kamathipura. I got Lily's soul from her also.
Pooja, how Amrita said that she found herself being vulnerable once again. Did you feel that as well?
I think what's kept me sane and kept my soul intact is the fact that I am not afraid to be weak. This part helped me with that, because you come on and then you see yourself for a flash on a monitor, and it's a digital camera that's very unforgiving in many ways. Even though we had a great DOP called Akshay, I don't know how he dealt with all of us women actually so calmly. And you hear the director say, go closer. Go closer. And that women of my age across the world will say is like music to their ears. Because normally you hear them say, you know what, go into a mid and cut further away. So, and that, if there was a last barrier, that was broken. So now I'm absolutely fearless. I mean, God help the world in that sense. Now I have nothing to hide and nothing to lose. And I even wore a white lace sari. So I must thank her for that last little barrier going. If only we can all really embrace the Begums in ourselves in real life as much, it would be good.
There's the show also talks about harassment at workplace, and we see Plabita's character. She goes into the washroom, takes off all of these posters which talk about guidelines for a safer workplace. I want to ask you today, when we've seen a Priya Ramani case where she won the defamation case against MJ Akbar, can we say that Me Too has changed anything with respect to the film industry?
I think, I have so much respect for Priya Ramani, because I think what she had to go through, because she spoke her truth, I think it takes a lot of courage to just fight it out. And I'm so glad that, we had this judgment in her favor. But can we expect that every woman who's gone through sexual harassment at the workplace, do you think everyone has the tenacity to go through what she did? I don't think so. And I don't think it should be like that. The battle just continues. So I feel Me Too has been, and I'm not just talking about the industry, I feel in India per se, I think Me Too is largely a failure. Patriarchy is too deep-seated and too deep-rooted in India. We have to come up with a new version of Me Too, because right now it's just a burden for anyone to speak up, because they are constantly targeted. And I'm not just talking about the industry, the film industry, it's across the board. Because otherwise Priya Ramani would have had to fight this case.
But whoever wants to take this, please do. We see that, people are still going ahead and collaborating with those who were called out. Does that ensure a safe working environment for others who come on project?
I think I just want to say one thing, that the thing about India, it's also that we are not a country where systems are in place in a way which actually can be the leading way for mindsets to change. Let's say in a place like America, maybe the systems are in place in a way where you can use that as an external reality to then percolate into the mindset. But in India, it doesn't function exactly cut to cut in that way. There are cases and situations where great judgments are passed and it works in favor of certain things, but it doesn't always play out like that. So cases take time. The only thing I feel is that it is important because, like Alankrita was saying, it has started a conversation. I think the main thing is, as a community, as humanity, we have to start taking responsibility. Not everything is about what is externally available. Is the government doing this? Is the law doing it? No, we all have to take responsibility for each other, for ourselves. And that conversation has started. Let's not be, holier than thou about it. We all have some deep-rooted patriarchy that is conditioned in us. So let's be honest and vocal and verbal and have more conversations and be more tuned in and aware about what's happening around us.
My final question is that, we're seeing content come under scrutiny every now and then. The Tandav controversy has stretched itself for so long. And the court also told the actors that, you signed the contract, you knew what the dialogue was going to be, you have to take responsibility for it. In such a scenario, how can art prosper, and how can you see true to tone stories that we've been seeing on OTT at least?
I feel art is timeless, and no matter what the situation, whether it's social, economic, political, eventually human stories always triumph. So I think stories will always find a way. All need to kind of hold on to, because I think times change like the world goes through cycles. And like we've seen, Iran had like really strong censorship, and they had the most beautiful films that rank so deep that even countries where there was no censorship, they were not making those kind of films. So I believe in the timeless and immense and absolute sort of power of art over everything else.
I just wanted to add one thing to it. Again, the eternal optimist in me will say that even a muzzling is of significance, however difficult and uncomfortable it feels and wrong it feels, because it starts conversation. It brings people together in alignment with the fact that it shouldn't be like this way. So a starting point for change sometimes is a kind of tramping down on something. So not that that's the most desirable way for change to happen.
Importantly, I think an important point to make is, I'll speak for myself, I don't speak for somebody else. I think we need to shoulder responsibility, and we need to kind of know why we say what we say and then own it. That's extremely important.
All of you, thank you so much. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching Bombay Begums. Like after a long time, I enjoyed watching this series in Hindi. Thank you so much, all of you, for this lovely chat, and good luck for the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.